He was born on a cold, wind-scarred plain with nothing, no wealth, no power, not even the protection of a tribe. And yet, he would rise to command the largest land empire the world has ever known. His armies traveled further than Alexander. His conquests reshaped continents, and his name, Genghis Khan, still echoes across history like the thunder of a charging horse. This is not the myth. This is the real story of how one man united the tribes of Mongolia and conquered half the known world. And the strategies he used were so effective, modern militaries still study them today. In the 12th century, the Mongolian steppe was a brutal place. Hundreds of clans and tribes fought endlessly, not for glory, but for survival. Camps were raided, livestock stolen, families enslaved. Loyalty lasted only as long as a man was strong enough to enforce it. Into this world, around 1162, a boy named Temujin was born. When Temujin was just 9, his father, Yesugei, was poisoned by a rival tribe. With their protector gone, Temujin's family was cast out, abandoned to die on the frozen plains. His mother, Holun, fought fiercely to keep her children alive. They survived on roots, scraps, and whatever small animals they could catch. Temujin was shaped by hunger, hardship, and betrayal. He learned early that the world respected only strength, and that no power was ever given freely. Yet even as a boy, he possessed something rare, a charisma so strong that people followed him despite having nothing to gain. And soon, the boy without a tribe would earn followers of his own. As Temujin grew, his rise was anything but assured. He was captured by the Taichud tribe, old rivals of his family. They enslaved him, bound him with a wooden collar, and mocked him as a boy destined for nothing. But Temujin refused to break. One night, under the cover of darkness, he fled, helped by a sympathetic guard, impressed by the young man's determination. Temujin's escape became a symbol of resilience. Legends say he told the guard, "When I rise, I will not forget this." And he didn't. Temujin began gathering companions, blood brothers, childhood friends, and outcasts like himself. Men who believed in him, not because of his birth, but because of his character. He was inventing something rare on the steppe: loyal followers. During this time, Temujin married Borte, a woman who would become one of the greatest influences on his life. But shortly after the wedding, tragedy struck. Rival tribes raided their camp and kidnapped Borte. Most men would have accepted fate. Temujin did not. He gathered allies, including the powerful Khwarezmian tribe, and launched a daring rescue mission. This was Temujin's first major military victory, and it earned him the loyalty of clans who saw something new in him. A leader who fought not for endless cycles of revenge, but for purpose. Temujin rewarded loyalty, not birthright. This challenged the old aristocracy and electrified common warriors. For the first time, men who had always been pawns in tribal wars could rise through merit. This shift would reinvent Mongolian society, and soon, the world. By the late 1190s, Temujin had enemies everywhere: the Taichud, the Merkit, the powerful Naiman, the aristocratic clans of the steppes. They viewed Temujin as a dangerous upstart. They were right. Temujin used tactics no steppe army had ever used so effectively. 1. Feigned retreats, drawing enemies into traps. 2. Rapid cavalry charges. 3. Coordinated horse archer volleys. 4. Widespread intelligence networks. 5. Promotion based on ability, not lineage. The steppes belonged to whoever mastered mobility, and no one mastered it better than Temujin. By 1206, after 2 decades of relentless warfare, Temujin had defeated all rival tribes. At a grand council, he was given a new title: Genghis Khan, universal ruler. The steppe was united. Now, the world would tremble. Genghis Khan built not just an army, but a machine. Mongol warriors carried multiple bows, composite arrows, lassos, and leather armor that was both light and strong. Each warrior, rode with 3 to 5 horses, could fire accurately at full gallop. Trained from childhood, with no distractions, they could move faster and strike harder than any army in existence. Genghis reorganized the military into decimal units, squads of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000 men. No tribe mattered anymore, only loyalty to the Khan. This eliminated favoritism and created predictability in command. Cities that surrendered lived, cities that resisted were destroyed, utterly. This reputation traveled faster than his armies. Many surrendered without a fight. A relay system of mounted couriers, the Yam, allowed messages to travel 200 miles per day. It was faster than most medieval governments could respond. Genghis Khan turned first to China, rich, advanced, and divided. Against the Jin dynasty, the Mongols adapted. They hired Chinese engineers, learned siegecraft, and built catapults, trebuchets, and fire lances. After years of relentless campaigns, major Jin fortresses fell. In 1215, they captured Zhongdu, modern Beijing. The Mongols learned something else in China. The world beyond the steppe was filled with wealth and enemies. And one of those enemies would commit a mistake so catastrophic it would lead to the destruction of his entire empire. In 1218, Genghis sent a peaceful trade caravan to the Khwarezmian Empire, but the governor seized the goods and executed the merchants. Genghis sent an ambassador, the Shah executed him too. For Genghis Khan, diplomacy had ended. The Mongol invasion was devastating. They crossed deserts considered impossible, attacked from unexpected directions, and smashed city after city: Otrar, Bukhara, Samarkand, Urgench. By the end, the Khwarezmian Empire no longer existed. In 1227, while campaigning against the Western Sia, Genghis Khan died, likely from injuries after falling from his horse. His burial site remains unknown. Some say 2,000 horses trampled the ground to hide his grave. Some say a river was redirected over it. No one knows. Genghis Khan's descendants expanded the empire even further, conquering Russia, Persia, Korea, Eastern Europe, and all of China. Under Mongol rule, the Silk Road flourished, trade expanded, ideas spread across continents. He reshaped Eurasia, politically, culturally, genetically. He began with nothing. He built the largest contiguous empire in history. Pause. This is the legacy of Genghis Khan, the man who turned the tribes of the steppes into an empire that changed the world forever.